Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of Stargirl. This time it's episode 3 called Icicle.
Ah, well of course, Icicle. Duh.
Which starts with a flashback of his origin story. Well, not his origin story, but like a flashback to Icicle's past, which his inspiration story.
So his wife says, make the world safe for our son. So he makes it very unsafe for a busload of kids, and one dies, but not his son, but happens to be his friend's son.
Like I said, everyone knows everyone in this world. The statistical odds that you would kill somebody's son, everyone knows everyone. Because then, at the end...
And I don't know, like, his son could have been on that bus. I'm not sure if he was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Was Cameron on the bus?
See him,
I'm not sure if he was on the bus.
But the point is that he could have been, he can recognize that's a school bus, and why the hell would he attack children? That just shows that he really doesn't care about children's safety like his wife wanted him to.
Well, grief can affect people when their wife dies. It's Malcolm Merlin all over again.
But it's also a bit of a case, it's sort of a Lex Luthor deal where the kid is not an asshole, but the parent is.
That's true. We only got
this was the same boy
Yes.
who painted the flowers on the girl's locker to cover up the horrible word.
Continuing our theme of everyone fucking knows everyone in this world, yes, we get that teaser that, yes, Cameron, the boy who was talking to Courtney, is the son of Icicle. And then you've got Icicle, and then Joey is the son of the magician dude who was also in the Injustice Society. So again, everyone's connected to everyone.
Oh, of course, yeah. The magician kid is the son of the guy who actually has a wand.
Yeah, because he's also in Injustice. Well, he was the guy in the previous episode who Brainwave was talking to at the middle of the night in the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a councilman.
Is he? Yeah, I guess so. Everyone's a councilman.
No.
But yeah, this episode really sets the tone of the show in multiple ways. In one way, it shows you that while Stargirl as a character and the show can often be light, it isn't afraid to have dark moments like suddenly killing off a kid in the third episode.
Yeah.
That takes you out. I like that though. It really takes you through a loop. You're not expecting that to happen. Like, some superhero shows have the occasional major character death, but to just pull that punch in the third episode really helps set you that, yeah, this show can still have that serious moments, but it's a good balance of the show can have its serious moments, but a lot of lighthearted characters like Courtney. So when we're not in a serious scene, we still have lighthearted moments throughout the show.
Like when he did the magic trick and she lied to him though, which, okay, maybe she was just trying to be nice, but even if it was, if my friend was practicing their tricks, I would not lie because you want them to learn how to get it right. They had the talent show coming up. And
it was that weird moment, because when everyone was watching...
That's probably why she lied, because maybe she thought everyone was watching, don't want everyone to see that he did it wrong, because everyone only started watching after, so they wouldn't have known she lied.
Yeah,
they were just waiting for her to say that's the card. Except the other boy, he actually was already standing nearby.
I know. Yeah, because he was standing behind her. Cameron was standing behind her.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't do much with Cameron in this episode, but again, it's a case of just putting every character in the show so that they exist, where they fit in the world, so that if/when they really become important, you already know stuff about them. It's not like Cameron had a lot to do in this episode, but it sets up the fact that he's at school, it sets up the fact that he's Icicle's son, and so on.
It's a great comparison to families where, say, Brainwave and his son, where the villain's kid is an asshole because he was the bully at the start, whereas Cameron did not turn out to be an asshole.
Exactly. We had all the heavy stuff with Icicle. It wasn't really a fight scene, it was just Icicle did some shit, ran away and did some shit. But then, you got Courtney being extreme. I guess this episode is supposed to be a bit of a hard-hitting message for Courtney, because, in the beginning, she's really gung-ho, and she's a little too not taking it seriously, but obviously
at the same time, she's taking it really seriously. Like, she's telling Pat, "Oh, we need to get working on this." She goes to school looking around. She's paranoid.
Well, she's paranoid, but at the same time, she's a little too excited. Whereas then, obviously, all the very serious moments at the end is supposed to make it hard-hitting for her. And you've got the two perspectives
she just saw a kid she knows die.
And you've got that comparison perspective at the end with both her and Pat talking about it, and they're both recognizing that it's serious, but she's recognizing that it's serious and something must be done.
Yeah. Pat takes her to headquarters and he says, "This is dangerous, so we need to stop." She says, "No, this is exactly why we need to keep going."
Exactly. So, we get the scene where we go to, the headquarters. We get a nice little reference to, like, all the heroes who are in the the Justice Society. We get mentions of Hourman, Wildcat, Flash, Thunderbolt. I think that was it.
Yeah.
Dr. Fate. Yeah, everyone was there.
Yeah, nice name drop of Ted Grant, who was a character.
Yeah, and don't worry about the way you saw him in Arrow. He was completely different. He was not relevant at all in Arrow.
Yeah.
But this is more accurate. Like, all the characters you're going to see here are far more accurate than you've seen them in the past. But yeah. That's
true. Arrow liked to sometimes do, like, a really loose interpretation of someone.
Exactly.
From the comics.
And then, obviously, at the end, we get all the references, and then at the end, we see her sneaking in and taking all of the random stuff that belonged to all the old people.
Except the pink pen.
Except the pink pen that was Thunderbolt, but yeah. I liked it. I forgot that was in that scene. That's all I'll say.
I was almost thinking she might, like, reach and grab the owl, like, "You're coming with me," but it's a living thing, so
it just lives there. Does Pat, like, come here regularly and feed the owl?
That's true, yeah. I mean, he said it doesn't leave. Maybe it does technically leave, like, at night and go outside and catch mice or something.
The place is abandoned. Maybe mice break in and the owl eats them. I don't know. But yeah. But again, this episode was last two episodes really set up the show. This episode sets up what we've got to do now. It's like, okay, we've seen that this show can be serious. We know that Courtney wants to find some people. And, like she said, we need to find new members. It's not going to be the old members. Just like Courtney is a young girl who is going to be the new successor to Starman, we're going to have younger characters be the successors to all the other JSA members.
Yeah.
Obviously, time will tell. But, I mean, obviously I know, but still. And that makes me excited.
You can't really replace... So, some of the members would have had, like, powers in them, whereas some used a tool. So you can't really replace and get someone who has the same power.
Well, yeah,
she didn't get someone who uses the same tool.
Well, yeah, she didn't take or do anything in relation to the Flash, but every other character there she took. Like, she took Dr. Midnight's helmet and goggles. She took like Wildcat's equipment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she took I think she took something else. I can't remember. But yeah, you get all that stuff. Oh yeah, and she took Owlman's hourglass. That's right.
Oh.
Yeah. So you get the fact that we're building up now. We know where the show's going to go. It's like, okay, Courtney wants to find new people. We've got all our villains. Like, okay, you've got Icicle, Brainwave's still in a coma. You've got the other councilman with the southern accent, and well, we did have the magic guy, but now he's dead.
Oh yeah, and at the end, yeah,
Yes.
My brain farted.
What happened at the end?
He killed the other guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just because the other guy said you killed my son.
Yeah, that was jarring. I always forget that happens. It's like, okay, he breaks in, they have a confrontation, and then he just straight up kills him without even trying to explain anything. So
also, those two old people apparently know what's going on.
Exactly. I believe those are his parents. Actually,
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I believe his parents actually know about the fact that he's got ice powers, and which makes it more of an interesting development, the fact that they seem to be in on it. Yeah, but overall, I still very enjoyed this episode. It's obviously, last episode had a lot. It's all about Stargirl. This episode, if last two episodes were all about Courtney and the New World, this episode is all about setting the tone of the show going forward. It's like, okay, we've got everything. We've set everything up. Like, we've set up the JSA. We know we're going to find people. We've got our villains. We've got everything. Now it's time to get the show rolling, and that is definitely what's going to be happening soon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, definitely above average episode. There weren't any major moments I didn't care for. Not really.
There were a few dumb moments, like, oh yeah, they've got a family dinner planned. Like, I know they rushed out to go fight Icicle, but they could have at least called or texted Mum to say, don't worry about coming home for family dinner, because then she could have just gone to a meeting that night.
And then I guess she called them and said, wait, I can be to the meeting anyway, because then she shows up at the meeting anyway.
Yeah.
Also, what time of year is it? Like, they're getting ready for dinner, and it is bright daylight with not a hint of...
They said family dinner's at 6:30.
Yeah, and there's not a hint of sunset, so unless they're taking a 5-hour roast, there should be a hint of sunset if this is like the middle of the year, but instead, it's bright daylight, but then it's definitely nighttime by the time they eat dinner, but it's not 6:30, I imagine, because they were late. Or maybe it was, in which case it's the fastest sunset ever. I don't know.
No, I think they actually ate dinner pretty late.
Shows are never good with time, but
also, there was also pretty crappy parenting. So, the kid was gonna get Cheetos, and Dad rightfully stopped him, but then he said, take money and buy whatever you want.
He couldn't think of an excuse. He couldn't think of an excuse to get him out the room. That's the problem. So he just told him to take money and get the hell out of here. But
then I'd say, no, don't spoil your dinner with Cheetos. Just go to your room.
Those are just silly random moments.
Because you can just randomly say go to your room, because he was already, like, in trouble.
We don't know what he was in trouble for.
I know, they didn't even say what he did. They just came home and he said something like, I think they've got enough evidence on you.
Wait, no, I think he was playing his Switch in class.
Oh, yeah, they did say.
Because it was like, yeah. It must have been a Switch too, because we've never seen him have a PSP, so it must be a Switch. Because we have seen him holding a Switch.
Yeah.
Also, it's mind-blowing to be watching a show where kids are playing a Switch. That makes you realize how new the show is.
And how old the Switch is.
That is disturbingly true. Today is the 8th anniversary of the reveal trailer of the Switch.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. Anyway.
But, like, also, he said no more games. That made it sound like he was, like, grounded from video games, take the Switch. But then when Mum came home...
He was playing the Switch, yeah.
When Mum came home and the others weren't home, he was playing it. Like, if you're going to say you're grounded from video games, then take the Switch and hide it in the parents' room. These parents don't know how to parent.
They're too busy fighting ice.
We never had our games taken
Yes,
away.
we did. Dad would always put my Game Boy on top of the ledge that was above the hallway door.
Oh, yeah, a little bit when we were younger.
Yeah, but...
Barely, though.
I mean, I guess the idea was like they were so distracted going to chase after Icicle that he didn't have time to worry about stuff like that.
But even before Courtney came home from school and started talking about Icicle, it should have been as soon as he brought the kid home from school and said no games, and they had that talk in his bedroom about the paper route, then he should have taken the Switch and put it in the parents' room.
Okay, but that's just random moments. Overall, this episode was still above average. We're still enjoying the show.
Okay, yes.
Yes. Obviously, the show did a really good chance of like setting up where we're going for the future, but also giving us a heavy tone to remind you that this show isn't afraid to pull some punches. I feel like at this point, everything's in place, and I thought what happens in next episode was what happens in this episode, but then as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, we got this thing. But I definitely know what happens in next episode. Okay. Anyway, shall we be done?
What's the next one called?
The next episode is called Wildcat.
Ah, she's probably going to try to recruit someone to be like him. Even though, okay, I don't know, I only know the other Wildcat who was just like a boxer or something?
Yeah.
So does real Wildcat have, like, any powers, or was he just good at fighting?
We'll have to find out.
But that's comic knowledge. I'm allowed to know comic knowledge.
I haven't read the comics, so how would I know? I only know what I've seen from this show.
Okay, great.
And it's completely different from Arrow, so that we'll find out about Wildcat and other things. But anyway, we very much enjoyed this episode. I think we covered everything.
Yep.
Anyway, we will see you next time for more Stargirl and other things as well. See you next time, guys!